Hey guys, it's Brandon here, and we're on site today in beautiful sunny Myrtle Beach at Bayview Resort. I'm going to take you into a stunning remodel. You're going to get to sit with Chris Crowley and his wife Sam and go through an in-depth, raw interview where I ask all the dirty questions, the juicy questions that you want to know about when it comes to doing an oceanfront condo remodel. And you don't want to miss this video, guys, because we're going to tell you the hard truth, especially as a first-time investor. I'm going to be honest with you. You're going to find out some things that you probably don't want to hear, that it is a hassle and it is a headache, and you don't want to tackle an oceanfront condo remodel by yourself. You're going to hear nightmare HOA stories that contractors have to deal with. You're going to find out all the crazy behind-the-scenes things that they have to do with logistics. I mean, you name it, Chris and Sam spilled the beans when it comes to remodeling an oceanfront condo in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and they are really experienced at doing it, so you don't want to miss it. Now, guys, you got to watch the must-see investor playlist. Please, I interviewed Matt Freeze. He owns 11 Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos. Definitely want to see that video. He made $1.4 million on 8 oceanfront condos in 8 years. Yes, he's a lender by trade. He will take on some risk, but he knows what he's doing, and he tells you all the juicy secrets that you need to be successful in oceanfront condo investing. And then I also interviewed Gosha Cook, who is an accountant by education, a much more conservative approach. She owns 24 properties, 15 of which are Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos. You definitely want her take on things. And finally, Rufia Nigro. Guys, she owns 27 Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos. Over a 17-year period, she built up $10 million worth of real estate in our market. You got to see these interviews because they answer a lot of the questions that you need answered, especially going after short-term vacation rentals in the Myrtle Beach market. Well, guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. I don't want to hold us up. Let's get into the video now. You'd like to invest in an oceanfront condo at a beach resort. I'd like to show you how they make profit and break down all their expenses so you understand how they operate, how they appreciate over time, and how to choose the right property manager for your goals. I'd also like to let you know what your HOA includes, how the location best services the tourist booking your unit, how your tourist can navigate the area to the best attractions, restaurants, and local events. I'd like to give you a market report on the resort that you're checking out today so that you make savvy investment decisions. And if you stay tuned until the end, I'll show you my top picks for the units that have appreciated the most in our market or generated the most gross rental income. So no matter if you're a first-time investor, a seasoned professional transitioning into the real estate game, or simply a casual investor who wants to buy an oceanfront condo to rent out while you're not using it for vacation. Whether you've got 15% to pay down because you're financing or you're a cash buyer, if it's an oceanfront condo you're after, you'll be better because I'm aiming to give you a 10 times return on your time for watching this video to the end. All right, guys, let's get inside unit 1106. Look at this. Look at this. Wow, nice entry table. Immediately to the right, we have the first restroom. As you can see, absolutely stunning wall decor. We've got nice, beautiful gold hardware. Looks like quartz countertops. Nice little bench in the shower. Absolutely stunning. And we've got our first bedroom. You can see the 2 full-size beds. Look at the headboards, guys. Check that out. Absolutely stunning. Beautiful artwork, as you can see. Nice, gorgeous mirror here. And, of course, flat screen. Let's get into the closet just for a second so you can see it. All right. There's our contractors there, guys. Absolutely stunning. Now, they turned this space into a beautiful dining room, as you can see. Gorgeous chandelier here. Look at that. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. Dishwasher, modern cabinetry. Undermount sink. Of course, a beautiful view. Look at that coffered ceiling. Look at that accent wall. We'll get to that in just a minute, guys. Beautiful backsplash here, as you can see. They took the cabinets out here to the left. We've put in a beautiful setup here with a nice coffee station. Everything that you need for wine, coffee. Nice little coffee station, which is one of those top 5% Airbnb. Look at that, guys. Listing must-haves. That I'm going to stand here just so you can see that beautiful tray ceiling in the kitchen. Now, check that out. You've got stools. You got a nice little overhang here, so you can eat there, which is phenomenal. And then check that out. We have a fireplace, accent wall that was built in, and of course a gorgeous flat screen TV. It's a little bit dark outside, but I'm going to take you out there anyways. Very cool table set up here. We're on the boardwalk, as you can see below, right here at Bayview. And there's access to the master here. They've put a nice mirror, little makeup table here. We've got a beautiful full-size bed. Yes, this is an accent wall, as you can see. Absolutely stunning. Flat screen on the wall. Look at this. Beautiful. Check that out, guys. All right. Nice, beautiful standing shower. Check out that work. Absolutely stunning. The gold is gorgeous. Of course, absolutely stunning. Well, guys, that pretty much wraps up our remodel right here at Bayview. So all that being said, what's the biggest hidden cost of remodeling above the 10th floor?
Hidden cost.
Hidden cost
I mean,
above the 10th floor. But honestly, probably just time and labor. Typically, in this business, you don't really want to pay somebody by the hour, right? Hourly pay is just...
Oh, guys. First off, if you are even considering paying a contractor hourly, weekly, daily, you are in the wrong, that's the wrong move.
Yeah.
Because you will show up at the job and you will keep asking, well, why isn't, it looks like nothing's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're milking that clock.
Woo! Do not do that.
Yeah. No. So I think that's probably the biggest pitfall, because I do pay certain laborers by the day. And if I have to wait 30 minutes for an elevator every single time we go up and down it, it's going to take a couple more days, and it's going to cost a little more money. I would say also draining. If you want to do like a custom shower or something like that, it's a little different the higher you go, because you've got to hit the drain, because there's only one drain for the building and there's only one way to get there. So I think that usually costs a little extra as well. Okay. Do you have anything to add to that? Good?
That's a lot, yeah.
Yep. Okay, so what's the worst HOA restriction you've ever dealt with?
Oh, God.
Oh,
you mean when Bayview? No, it wasn't Bayview. What was the name of that condo?
Caribbean.
Which
Caribbean. Oh, when the Caribbean shut the elevators down.
Mm-hmm.
The elevators, all the elevators in the whole entire unit, they shut them down, and we had to go up the stairs. And I think it was on the 14th floor.
It was.
Yeah, that was the worst.
And they decided that we could not, as contractors, use the residential elevators. So we had to wait and wait and wait, and we couldn't do anything.
So they complicated the mess out of the job.
There was that, and people don't realize this too, but when you're at an oceanfront condo, any time of the year, obviously you're going to have people everywhere. But major holidays, when they have a lot of people coming in, a lot of people checking out, they do not want you working the day before or the day after a holiday. So that takes 3 days, and heaven forbid that run up against a weekend, and they won't let you work on the weekends.
Yeah.
So you can't take trash out. You can't make a noise. You can't sling a hammer. You can't do anything. So right there, if we're looking at that, you just lost 6 days of work.
Dude.
So it'll push you back. And then we're the ones that get those phone calls. but it's not us. It's
Yeah.
the HOA.
So
It's easier to build a house than
It is.
renovate an oceanfront condo. Like realistically, it's easier to build a house.
I mean, and that's a big statement.
Because of all of the red tape that you run into that you don't know you're going to run into until you get that HOA paperwork from the building that you're working in.
And let's just kind of jump there for a second. Obviously, you guys have to deal with HOAs. You have to provide insurance. There's hoops that y'all have to jump through. If a contractor's saying they can do your job and they don't have insurance, you probably want to run.
Please run away.
Yeah.
Because then it's not going to cost you a renovation amount. It's going to cost you a whole lot more in litigation.
Come on, God forbid.
So let's not.
Now, I get calls, emails, and text all the time from investors just like you looking to make an investment in Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos or commercial properties in our market. If that's you and you need a savvy investor to run financial analysis, to generate profit and loss statements, that has the research and has, hard factual data that backs up how these condos have rented. If you need proof, I can get it for you. No matter where you are in the journey, though, don't be a stranger. We've got lots of stories. Lots of investors call off of YouTube, email, text me. I work with all kinds of people from all over the world, guys. I want their story to be your story. So pick up the phone, give me a call, get over your fear, stop being afraid. The season's almost over. You can't waste any more time. Stop watching videos and pick up the phone and take action, because it can be a life-changing decision to make contact with me and open a new chapter of your life. 843-360-1737. All right, so how often do the elevator outages or loading restrictions blow up the timeline? Is that something you see a lot?
Every
Fairly
single
often.
job.
Yeah.
There we go. I mean, tell them about
Every
it.
single
Yeah.
job.
It's
Every
going to
single
be
job.
something every single time. And it's really just a logistical nightmare if I'm a blanket statement that.
Go.
We have to use, so they won't let you use certain things to haul materials upstairs. And using the elevators, you can't commandeer them for so long,
Yeah.
but you end up having to use the rolling luggage carts to get things upstairs. And you have to make sure that there's no dirt down the hallway. You have to make sure that everything's taped off and vacuumed up. And 9 times out of 10, we'll get a phone call from the HOA like, your guys left dirt in the hallway. Well, excuse me, for a living, we scrape popcorn. So what do you think is going to happen? But okay, like we'll get a vacuum cleaner. So it's just like we're constantly running into something that's going to delay the process, and that is going to happen every job.
Yeah. So imagine having to take a vacuum outside every time you brought something into the job site that you're going to be remodeling.
And the poor guys just get phone calls from us all day saying, hey, clean up your mess, do this. And it's not even their fault, but we have to relay the message.
If I'm tearing out, 1,400 square feet of tile off of a concrete floor, it's going to make a bit of a mess. And then I've got to carry it down and put it in a dumpster that's not here because I have to have a dump trailer. And most of them don't even allow us to have that.
Yeah.
So we end up having a assembly line of pickup trucks. And you got to think, right? This is Myrtle Beach, right? So the good thing about Myrtle Beach is everybody tourists here, right? This is an attainable vacation, no matter how much money you want to spend. You can come here for very little money, or you can come here and blow a bunch of money. Everybody comes to Myrtle Beach. That's why we're number one growing, place in the United States right now.
Yeah.
Come on.
That being said, right? A high school baseball team could come in with a bus, and that could shut down our elevators for a whole entire day.
That did happen.
We can't even get up to the unit to do your work, or my guys can't even get there, or we can't even get back to our car to come back up, and that slows down your work.
Guys, you wanted the raw and the truth and the ugly and the nasty, and you got it. Like, this is the stuff that they're literally dealing with. Now, they are not going to make excuses. They are literally going to be fighting through all of this mess to get it done. And to be honest with you, I would say most of our remodels are done within 8 to 10 weeks.
Yeah.
On top of dealing with all this kind of crazy.
This one we're in now took 2 months.
Yeah.
And
it was a full gut.
It was a full gut. Yeah.
Yep. And obviously you'll see on the video. So anyways, how often do projects go over budget and why?
Every job.
Projects only go over budget if you're not flexible enough to allow us to handle the problem, right? if you want to stay in a certain budget, then you have to allow us to find the product that will fit in the budget.
Yeah.
If you want something that's outside of the product that we're choosing, or we're saying that, hey, this fits in the budget, then you're going to go over your budget. That's on you, not on us.
Yeah.
We're not going to go over the budget. And if it does go over the budget, I'm going to be very transparent with you and let you know up front, this is the reason why, and this is what happened. For instance, in this unit that we're in right now, initially we were just going to do a doors only job in the kitchen. The kitchen itself had cabinets. We do that from time to time to try to save the customer money, and it does save some time as well. Some of the doors were small and custom, and no vendors made them, so we ended up having to replace the whole entire kitchen. So that obviously is going to go over budget a little bit, because now I've got to take out your whole entire kitchen. I've got to put a new kitchen in. I have to redo the plumbing. I have to install your cabinets, and I have to do a new countertop. And then most of the time you're going to want, you're not going to want a blind spot, because you want to maximize every single part of your space in here. So I'm going to have to do a corner cabinet here, a corner cabinet there, change out your layout. That's going to put it over budget. There's nothing we can do about it.
And that's just extremely brief and put together. And that's exactly what happens every single time. And when it comes to my design side of things, people will see things and they'll get on Pinterest or ChatGPT, and they're like, well, I really love this and I really want to do this. And I can achieve that, but you got to be flexible with me. And if something can't be done, or we need to pivot and say, okay, we can give you this overall look, but A, B, and C are going to have to change. If you're good with that, we're golden. That's fine, but don't fight me on it.
Yep.
And if you fight me on it, then you're going to have to pay for it.
Right. So
same thing with showers, right?
Yeah.
So if I come in and I say, hey, I can renovate your whole entire shower, I can take out the insert, redo the whole entire thing, build the bed, do a custom shower. I can do it, say, for $6,500, right? And you pick a tile that's $39.95 a square foot. It's impossible to do. You're going over budget because you're picking a product. Now I can go find a tile, and it'll fit in budget. It's going to look fantastic. It's not going to look much different than the one you found for $39.95. But it's all entirely up to you. If you're flexible, we can make the budget work.
all right. So what's the most common surprise expense that owners don't plan for?
I would say previous contractors in their units. A lot of times, especially when we're doing any type of electrical or plumbing, it looks like a spider web. Different things. I mean, these units have been renovated over time, and not all contractors are good, so they hide a lot of stuff. I think that's the biggest thing. You don't know what's there until you take something up. If I take up carpet and there's big chunks in your concrete out from whoever did it before. We also had an issue where somebody had installed a custom shower, and they dug down into the concrete, which you're not supposed to even touch the concrete, mind you. And they went back with a self-leveler, and that actually fell through to the other unit we were doing. So things like that. Yeah. Cutting corners.
And then what line item do clients almost always underestimate?
I think it's the furniture. In my opinion, I think it's furniture, because they think, hey, I've got a 2-bedroom unit, I've got a 3-bedroom unit. We need, some new beds, headboards, just make it pretty, because everything else here was garbage. Let's redo it. Well, I don't think you understand the amount of money that it takes to actually get decent pieces that fit. And then you have to consider freight and shipping charges on top of that. I can't get a sofa on the 14th floor by myself and go pick it up at Walmart.
Yeah.
And you want it to be stain resistant too. So you're adding in price point for stain resistance. You're adding in a white glove delivery to actually get it up here, get it set up, make sure that there's warranty involved. And then you also got to look at your freight charge based on how big it is and how much it weighs. And I don't think people understand the amount of excess money that goes into it. If you give me a $15,000 budget for furniture, obviously we're going to be on the low end of selection pieces. Still nice pieces, obviously, because I wouldn't do that.
Yep.
But you're still looking at things that have to be put together. I have to put that together, or I have to have a helper to come actually assemble furniture. That's a cost increase.
That's right.
And then after that,
flat pack,
everything's flat pack. If you're looking at a budget, you're almost better off raising your budget just to fit in certain things that you don't have to pay for on the back end, because you're really not saving money. You're gonna spend it. It's just in a different facet than you think it's gonna be.
Yeah, yeah.
So
what's a realistic contingency reserve for an oceanfront condo investor doing a remodel? How much? Like, so you give somebody a quote, it's going to be 70 grand to do this one, full gut, whatever. How much do they need to, just in case, for all the just in case stuff, how much would you say they need to have sitting in a savings account?
Well, it just depends on what all they want to do. Again, like I said, if they're flexible, we can make it work. But I would always, if you come in and you have a $70,000 budget, I would say 70,000 to how much, right? Because you always want, in case shit happens, money. Because a lot of times stuff is going to happen, unfortunately. So,
what are you thinking, $5,000?
I would say 5 to 10. If you save 10 extra and we don't use it, it's $10,000 you didn't use. But if you save 10 extra and we use 7, I mean,
you're covered.
Still, you're covered.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, too, you also got to factor in that just because we're doing our job right and our crews are doing our job right doesn't mean everybody else is. We have to deal with shipping. Shipping is an actual nightmare, especially since COVID. This particular unit, I bought 2 shower doors from Lowe's. FedEx broke one and they lost another. So I ended up having to pay for both shower doors again, and while they're doing an investigation to find my shower doors that I paid for.
And I think it might help too if people look at their overall budget of what they can afford and what they want to actually invest into the place, and then say, okay, if this is our budget, let's up this by a certain percentage just to have, like, in case things.
Yeah, in case money.
So at that
10%
point,
more.
Pick and choose. You can pick and choose the things that are most important to you. Like Brandon was talking about earlier, pictures is what's going to sell the condo, right? So when you go looking to where you're going to vacation, you go look at the pictures. That's the first thing you look at. And whatever pops out at you, that's the one you're going to choose. So you can spend less money or you can spend more money on those type of things and less money on other things and still keep your unit rented. And, if you need to do something else or other things down the line, you always are going to make the amount of income, to do that. So I would say prioritize where you're going to spend your budget. What's the most
biggest
important
bang
to you?
Yep.
And what's the most important to everybody else who's going to come to your unit?
All right. So if a client's budget is unrealistic, do you tell them or just let it fall apart later?
I tell them.
We tell them.
Yeah. I mean, there's no sense in having that conversation a month down the road. Hey, we just can't do it. That's just bad business.
It's a waste of time for everybody involved.
Yeah. And there's a lot that goes into this. There's a lot of sleepless nights. Sam was working on Christmas Eve, putting together furniture for this particular unit we're setting in right now. We worked till almost midnight the night before. So, it takes a lot to get these done. So there's no way I want to start a job and not finish. So if your budget don't allow it, I will ask you your budget and I will be very transparent on what I can do in that budget.
All right. So do you guys deal with subcontractors doing no-shows on you?
So as far as subcontractors, we've eliminated that to the point where we only use people that we have used before. Mm-hmm. You're never going to come in our unit and be like, hey, this is the first time this guy's ever been working on it, because it just doesn't happen. We don't outsource. I've been burned so many times outsourcing, and there's a reason why contractors, subcontractors, have such a bad name to certain people. Everybody has their own horror story with them. I don't outsource anymore. If I can't get it done with my guys, then I'm gonna just tell you that it's gonna take longer, or you're gonna have to wait till I'm available.
It's gonna cost us
money.
Else. Like it's gonna end up costing us money in the long run,
because I'm gonna pay my own money to get it fixed, because I'm not gonna leave you hanging.
Yeah.
I've done it several times. I've lost money on several units just because at the end of the day, my name And my reputation is more important than $5,000 or $10,000 I'm going to lose on your unit because we hired some idiot.
Okay, so what's your policy if a project gets weeks behind? How do y'all handle that?
I'll let you know when it happens.
Yeah, we'll let you know if we are hitting some road stops in the project, and if something is, easily fixable. Here's the game plan to get past this. Here's the game plan to get over this hump, and this is what we're looking at ETA wise. But it's basically going to be boiled down to what's caused it, where we're at, and then what's the solution to go forward. Because Chris all the time says there's no problems, there's only solutions. So he automatically jumps into solution mode as soon as something happens, and we'll get a game plan before we'll even talk to you. So you have
if you're
answers.
flexible and willing to pivot, it's not going to be weeks behind unless it's the actual condo itself. And if that's the case, then I can't do nothing about it. But as long as you're flexible, there's no way we're going to be. I don't miss deadlines. I don't like it.
Yeah, there's only certain things that's going to cause a delay in a job, and I can confidently say it's never us. It's always some outside factor that is causing the delay, whether it be the building or the logistics or any shipping issues or missing items that people lose. So, it's going to be different factors, but we always are going to tell you, like, hey, here's where we're at and here's what we're going to do.
So what parts of the timeline are most likely to slip?
I think a lot of it's
shipping.
Yeah, it's shipping.
And that's with furniture or
everything.
Anything.
Materials?
Well, I just told you about my 2 shower doors. It's just shipping in general. Shipping is the biggest thing that holds us back from completing our jobs. There's been several times where I'll order something or Sam will order something, and then we'll get an email the next day and say it's completely out of stock, and they don't know what's going to come back in, and we have to pivot. As a customer, you're looking at that and you're not going to be happy with it, but you have to understand if you want your job done in time, you've got to pivot with us, and you have to be flexible.
I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because you can enjoy and increase the passive income of your oceanfront condo through the 20 to 22 million tourists that visit the #2 vacation destination on the East Coast each year. Not only can you enjoy the equity paid for by visiting tourists, but you can also anticipate the over 100% appreciation experience at many of the oceanfront resorts in our market during the recent decade. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because you can depreciate them, reducing your overall tax burden, keeping more money for you and your loved ones, and ensuring unnecessary taxes aren't paid. Have you ever been called in to fix someone else's remodel on an oceanfront condo?
Absolutely.
And what was the worst one that ever happened?
What was that one that we did?
There's a lot. There's so many that it's hard to.
Was it Caribbean?
I don't
That it was the one that wasn't good and we had to go in and fix it?
I don't know. I mean, we're always fixing other people's work, so it's hard to say.
We have been called in for fixing another contractor's mess up or just their mess.
What was the worst mess that you think comes to mind?
I think a lot of times it's going to boil down to plumbing or electrical.
Yeah, plumbing and electrical.
That's going to be what we are called
for. For instance, this isn't an oceanfront condo, but obviously we do. We build houses. We do everything else as well. We had one of our customers. He does investment properties. We'd done one for him before. He called us in to look at it. And he told us how much that the guy was going to charge him to finish it. And I started looking around, and the plumbing was just completely rusted. They had cut the plumbing and just left it under the thing. The electrical was awful. We had to redo the whole entire electrical. So I would just say that if someone doesn't show that they care about your project, then they really don't care about your project. Sam and I, we actually care about doing this. It's fun. We enjoy it. We like working together, and we like seeing I like seeing her vision come alive. And again, the validation and, seeing seeing our customers face when they walk in, they see their new unit. So you really have to find someone that actually really cares.
So you don't have to call us. I mean, you can call us before you call somebody else, but I'm just saying, you shouldn't have to do that.
So what's the worst guest-caused damage you've seen in a condo?
Oh, that's shattered shower door.
Yeah, shower door.
Shower doors?
I think that was the worst one.
It's tempered glass.
Yeah,
It should be
yeah.
very hard to break. And we got a call back because a kid slammed the shower door and completely shattered the whole
Had to
thing.
slam it pretty hard, huh?
We have a professional glass company that installs our shower doors, by the way. So
that
we don't
should-
install our own shower doors. We actually have a professional glass company that comes out and installs our shower doors. So I know they're doing it right because that's all they do. So if your shower door is breaking, it ain't because of us or because of our installers.
Mhm.
All right, so what features get destroyed fastest by vacation renters? Is it the flooring? Is it the showers?
Probably walls and stuff, walls and
Walls.
cabinets.
Mhm.
But I will say this: the more expensive the unit looks, the better somebody's going to take care of it,
Mhm.
right? Because if you're doing an Airbnb or a VRBO or even managing it yourself, you have the insurance and they have to pay the insurance to be able to do it. So if it looks like you spend a ton of money, more people are going to take care of it because they don't want to pay for it.
And your price point's going to be higher too when it comes to the rental pricing anyway. So you're going to weed out a lot of people that way regardless. But I think a lot of times if people come in with families and they have a lot of kids, or you've got just like multiple family units together in like, a place that can sleep 12 people.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people going on. So you're looking at your walls being beaten up. A kid grabs a butter knife and starts carving on the floor. That I've seen that before, and we have to replace the floor. But there's certain aspects. I think the stuff that's touched the most, the stuff that's used the most, that's what's going to wear the most.
Okay. Yep.
Mainly just walls, I would say that too, though. Like when you were coming in with a suitcase, they bang the walls a lot.
Okay.
So it's important to pick the right sheet.
So, and I'm gonna, no one likes talking about their own mistakes, but I think some value could be hidden there. What's the biggest mistake
There are none, Brandon.
y'all have made doing an oceanfront condo? Walk me, what happens when you make a mistake? Like, walk me through that process. Like, let's say something went awry here. You did something you weren't supposed to do. What can the client expect from you?
Accountability.
Accountability first, and
Fixing it.
again, no such
You just
thing as
pick up the
problem,
phone.
Only
Do
solution.
you find a solution first and then pick up the phone and call them?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think-
I'm a solution guy, so I don't even think about the problem. My mind goes. I'm straight solutions. It's a military thing. Adapt and overcome. That's how I look at every aspect of life. So if something goes wrong, I'm just looking for solutions to fix it.
And he does that with my problems because I don't think like that. So
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I don't know what to do. And he takes a
Pivots.
step back and he
Pivots.
pivots.
Yeah,
So
pivots.
I think that there was one time that it was when I was first doing the oceanfront condos, and I didn't think, hey, I need to measure the elevator for the sofa.
Yeah.
The sofa got delivered, would not fit in the elevator, and we had to call the delivery company back to come pick it up.
Oh,
It
man.
took 3 months to get a refund on that sofa to go back.
I'm not
across
sure we
country.
ever got a refund.
We did. I found it, but we had to pivot off of that. I had to literally call another rep, find another sofa. After that, I measured every door, every window, every opening that I might even see from my car to that unit.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because this is the fastest growing area out of the 150 most populated areas in the entire United States for the last 3 years in a row, according to U.S. News and World Report. This helps to insulate our market from many of the ups and downs that the rest of our nation's real estate market experiences. This can help you have a more stable rental property. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because they have a tremendous upside when compared to money market accounts and the stock market, due to the appreciation they earn and the potential of higher annual yields through their gross rental income when compared to these other investments. Money market accounts and the stock market don't have the upside of added appreciation. I believe you should invest in Oceanfront Condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because while our prices have risen and have held their value, we're also much cheaper than other places like Florida. Where else can you go and find an oceanfront condo for as little as $100,000? If you're getting into the real estate game or expanding your current portfolio, the bang for your buck is sitting right on the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina oceanfront.
That's it. Yeah.
So have you ever had to pay out of pocket to fix something you messed up?
Yeah.
Give us an example.
Well, the couch, I had to do that.
No doubt.
I did, because I had to wait for that refund, but I had to go ahead and buy a new couch because I messed that one up. Yeah.
I mean, it's honestly several things. If I break anything, I'll spend my own money to fix it. I've done it several times.
Is there anything that's not covered that a client would generally assume is covered in these jobs?
I think there tends to be a lot of that, because if you've never done this before and this isn't your world, this is our world.
Walk us through it.
You're not going to realize, hey, okay, well, we have to go to Lowe's. We have to get.
We're not going to buy you linens.
Right. Like,
I mean, that comes to my mind.
Right. Because they think that, this is
perfect
turnkey.
one. There's no such thing as turnkey.
Please don't ever ask us for that.
Right? We're going to make it beautiful. You bring your own stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
You bring your own dishes.
Now, can't somebody get you to do that?
Absolutely.
Like linens.
And I've done that before,
like that.
but that also is a part of the initial conversation. Like, what are your expectations? So that way I know what my expectations need to be.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing furniture, cool beans, I'll do furniture all day long. But if you walk in and you're like, well, where are the blankets? Where are the sheets? Well, we didn't talk about that, because those are finishes. And most of the time everybody has a rental property person,
property manager is going to do that stuff.
Yeah. So that actually has been part of the conversations within the past couple years. We've had to add in, what do you expect us to have in here? Because this is going to cost A, B, and C, but this is going to have to be extra.
Yeah. Like a basket for setting wristbands are for the amenities.
Exactly.
They might be expecting that, but that's not covered in the remodel quote.
Right.
Yeah.
And appliances and TVs, that gets very convoluted a lot of times. People think that's part of we're doing a full gut on the kitchen. That is not included. You need to pay for your appliances. We're not going to cover the appliances in the remodel. We're looking at labor and material with what's going in here architecturally.
Yeah.
If you want TVs or anything else, that's got to be a separate line item, and that needs to be discussed.
Should also factor in staging, right? So
yes.
Again, if we're getting 30 boxes of flat pack furniture and we have to spend 4 or 5 days with 4 people doing it,
putting together furniture,
who's paying for that?
Yeah.
I mean.
So it ends up costing more in the end, is what I was talking about earlier. You think you're saving money on the back end. It's here's our budget for furniture. That stuff doesn't just come assembled.
Yeah.
That is a me thing that comes assembled.
So, in other words, it's going to cost time, money, energy, effort to get that done. So why should a client choose you guys over other contractors? No fluff here.
Yeah.
Shoot it straight.
I say just because we care. Honestly, we really care. We enjoy this. We do this because we enjoy this. She don't make near as much as she does on her design fees. Honestly, what you would pay for her to design your house is about what you pay for the whole thing for us to do your whole entire condo.
Yeah.
We enjoy doing it. And we care. And this is our calling card. And we're putting our own little personal stamp on Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would say that's the reason why. You can tell if somebody cares and if somebody don't. So
all day long.
Want somebody who actually cares, who wants you to maximize your profit, wants you to be successful, that wants this place to pop, that wants to see the tears come out of your eyes when you walk in your house. When you bought it unseen, you come from New York and you walk in the door, and all you've seen is pictures. That's the reason why.
Yeah.
And also, we are the only people that I know of, especially in this area, that offer the contractor designer duo.
Yeah.
I used to do this all by myself, and I'll tell you, I'm not half the designer, not even a quarter of the designer as this woman. She is amazing, and she's so talented, and you'll see in just a minute what she's came up with. So having her, and then having the attention to detail in our contracting work is the reason why you should hire us.
Yeah. And I think that when you see our work, you can tell a huge difference in other condos, not just because of, oh, it's updated and it's been redone, but nothing looks the same.
Oh yeah,
No condo
it looks
gonna
completely
look the same.
different. Guys, like the before and after
Yeah.
on this is nuts.
I mean, it's never going to look like somebody else's condo. Just say, I get yours and you tell me what you want and it resembles this one. It's not going to look anything like this.
Yeah.
And it's on purpose because I take pride in the design. He takes pride in the work, and he takes everything that's up here and makes it come to life.
Yeah, makes it real.
And I think that you doing it on your own, you're never going to get that. And I don't say that like, self-loathing or anything like that. Like, well, I'm sorry, but it's going to be more so, hey, somebody else is seeing this through different eyes that does this for a living, and we're going to make this better than you ever thought you could by yourself. So if you want that and you want to maximize your ROI, I highly suggest you trust a team to do it, and you make sure that you maximize your ROI.
So is there an oceanfront condo remodel project that wouldn't be a good fit for you guys?
Would not be a good fit?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that as far as the project itself, there's none that wouldn't be a good fit because I think we can accomplish anything as far as renovating, building, doing any type of design. I feel like the only way it wouldn't be a good fit is if it's conflicting personalities, or if you have someone that wants to hire you, but then they want to do all the work themselves. At the end of the day, if you hire us, trust us. If you don't trust us, don't hire us. It's pretty much red, white and black. Is there
anything that you disagree with most contractors about when it comes to oceanfront condo remodels?
I don't really put myself in a box with other contractors or even men. I even say I have evolved from that. If that makes sense. We are our own niche and we are our own people. So there's no sense in comparing. I don't walk into units and see the type of work we do. And again, if my guys know, if I walk in and I see something and it looks like we had a bad contractor in here, they're going to redo it. So,
yeah, I don't think any contractor, even though they say like, oh yeah, we do our own in-house design and we have these selections and this is what everybody just chooses from. That's very cookie cutter to me.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that's anything like what we are.
Yeah.
Like Chris said, we have our own niche, and any other contractor come in saying like, oh, well, we could do this, this, and this. And then it ends up looking just like, you went to Lowe's and had them do it for you.
Come on.
And then you're going to give them a price tag that makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
And you come back and all the contractor sees is a dollar sign.
Yeah.
When Chris and I go in places, we don't see a dollar sign. We see the people, and then we start talking to the people and seeing how best we can make what they want happen.
9 times out of 10, we become really good friends with you guys too.
Yeah.
So.
That's super cool.
We're the best friends.
Yeah.
Listen, Sam and Chris do all of the remodels for all of my oceanfront condo investor clients, and we're pretty much all good friends.
Yeah.
They always come back
throughout the process.
Yeah, generally everyone
So,
comes back. We also do everything in house. I will say that.
Oh yeah.
One of the things that separates us is we have our own countertop fabricators, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have our own vendors. We have our own accounts. We have our own workers.
Basically, you're getting our teams.
You're getting
in-house.
Customization without paying extra for extra people to do that kind of customization.
Yep. So, what's the hardest part of working with real estate investors?
Brandon?
Come on, be honest.
Real estate investors.
Yes, because all of our clients are investors for the most part.
I would say that.
Be honest.
All right, so perfectly honest, I feel like that if you're not in a situation where you didn't just save your whole entire life to just make an investment, then you have a lot of money or you have a high status in life and you look at contractors in a different way. Personally, I have no respect to persons. It doesn't matter if you're the janitor or the president. I'm going to treat you the same, and it's always going to be with dignity and respect. And I feel like that not all investors have that same mentality. And when they don't, I'm very assertive about it. So
I think that is the main thing. It's an archetype and a personality difference. And if you look at for lack of a better term, blue collar work as beneath you, and you treat those people doing that as such, and you talk down to us, or you act like we don't know what we're doing, or you try and take it over because you know better, or it is your niche because it's what you do for work, then why do you need us? And also, why do you want to put up with us if that's the case? I mean, it's more so we're very easy to get along with. We're very much like chameleon people. When we meet other people, we want to get along with people. We don't necessarily like just go for conflict. So when those situations arise, we're taken back because we want to make sure that we're doing the best job possible. And when you make us feel like we're less than, like we can't do it, that's a you problem, not a us problem. And that's the hardest thing to get past working with somebody in a real estate investment, because they already have a premeditated mentality coming into this that they are the end all be all. Unfortunately, that is how some of these people are.
Come on, be honest.
It ends up being very, very difficult, because if you don't have the respect for somebody that's doing something, yes, we're getting paid for it, but we're also doing it for you. We could very easily turn down the job and you could find somebody else.
Yep.
But if we are willing to take that leap with you, and you're not even willing to meet us halfway or hand us a parachute, then we don't want to work with you.
What we do isn't blue collar work too. I do several other types of work that's blue collar work. This is not work. This is taking a concrete box and putting art in it.
I think
this
people feel that way about this stuff.
There's a lot of logistics that go into, especially in Oceanfront Condo. It's not just blue collar work. There are people that swings a hammer and tears up tile, but more often than not, there's a lot of logistics that goes into every single aspect of this, to getting the parts that that fit into your unit, to making it look a certain way, to having whatever theme you choose, to picking your mind, to figuring out what you want to see, to figuring out what's going to benefit you later, what's going to maximize your profit. We're not blue collar people. We're educated. We're not, we're not dumb hillbillies.
And I do think that's a common misconception with that type of person.
Yeah.
Those type of investors that have that mentality that that's what this is.
Yeah.
And it's most definitely not. And I'll tell him all the time, like we'll be talking about a project.
Well,
and
to kind of piggyback off or to explain what you're saying, there are lots of agents in our market.
Yeah.
There are 5,500 agents, right? There are only 204 that sold more than 30 deals out of 5,500 agents.
Yeah.
That's 4%. So the point is, not all agents are the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not all contractors are the same.
Right.
I charge a much higher fee for my clients to work with me. I'm an investor broker. It's a different situation. I'm I'm like a financial advisor. There's you get my team, you get my network. There's a whole lot of value that I create for clients that is above and beyond what a typical agent. So some people might call me and go, well, that guy's an agent, and they got one idea in their mind, and then they have a conversation with me and they understand it's a very different circumstance. And it's the same kind of thing. You're a professional. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You're not just somebody swinging a hammer that can't find work.
Right.
We can think about it like this. You can go get a handyman license for $150. You can throw a sign on your back of your truck, and you can be Chuck in the truck contracting. If you want to hire those guys, you're welcome to.
And I think
you're welcome to.
And look,
and
that's I tell people that all the time. Like, well, I don't know if I tell them that. I probably say it though. But like, you can go find an agent that closes 2 or 3 deals and work with them all day long. Mm-hmm. But it's not going to be the same experience when you work with me than working with agents closing 2 or 3 deals.
It's like when I hear people say, "Well, do you decorate houses?" It literally makes my blood boil, because I'm like, I know I beat this horse all the time, but I went to school for this. I did not
because you deal with it all the time. Yeah.
I didn't go to school to decorate your house. There's a difference between, and I will rabbit hole for a second. So
here we go.
There is a difference between a decorator and an interior designer. An interior designer knows schematics, they know architecture, and they know layouts. They're able to space plan. They're able to do renderings and know exactly what's going to fit and what's not going to work, and be able to make it pretty in the process, and then take the business side of it and functionality, put that into play, and make everything come to life. A decorator goes to Home Goods and finds you a pillow. That is not what I do.
Yep. Very, very different thing.
I've seen Sam literally be in a conversation listening to the customer, tell them what they want, and sketch it out on the paper in the middle of the conversation. Hand it
So
to them, and
good.
that's
Come on.
exactly what they were talking about.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen
Pretty cool.
all the time,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. And just to add in here, I have, been exposed to Sam and heard her bring insight to the functionality of design. And it opened my mind to a whole other realm of what goes into this. Like, she's thinking about the flow of traffic in this and how the upgrades and the features are going to impact that. And it's like, oh, I didn't really think about that like that. Like, oh, wow.
It's down.
Different texture.
Pretty insightful.
It's
Yeah. So super cool. Obviously not just picking out a pillow at Home Goods and throwing it on the couch talking about, hand me some cash.
Way more than
Yeah. So real quick, what's one upgrade, and we're almost at the end here, guys. What's one upgrade that you'd skip even if money wasn't an issue? What's one
I'll
upgrade?
let you answer that because I have no limits.
One upgrade.
It is limitless.
Any upgrades that you'd skip, Chris?
I think Chris would say the coffer ceilings.
I
I don't think he ever wants to do those again.
You know what? Honestly, no, I can't really think of anything. Get what's needed, right?
Okay, well, that's going to piggyback me into the next question. What advice do you give clients that they ignore and regret later?
If your furniture is wicker and it looks like it's from the 80s, you should change it, right? You should definitely change it. I can paint it. It's going to look okay. It might even last a couple years, but you should change it.
When people say that they want to keep, and I will say something with that too. When people say that they want to keep the furniture that's already in the unit, they want to recreate. We try and guide them and say, well, we're redoing everything else, and this is going to look dated, and it's not going to.
It's going to bring down the remodel.
Right. It's not going to give you the full estimate. So when we tell them that and they ignore it, and they're like, well, we're just going to keep it, then it's not going to look good. And then they're going to want to get new furniture. It happens 100% of the time, every time. Or they want to keep the bathtub insert instead of doing a build out.
Let's backtrack. You said every time that they say they want to keep the furniture, after you remodel the unit, they come into it and go,
they want to change
we got to get the furniture. So it catches them by surprise that they're going to spend another $10,000 or $15,000 buying furniture
because they think they're saving money, and then they see the work that we do and the value that it brings,
and they see it being destroyed by the furniture. They're like, oh, we got to spend $10,000.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now you also said the bathtub.
The bathtub. When people want to, when you have a unit and you've got like 2 or 3 bathrooms, one of them is more than likely going to be a tub, if not multiples. We try and steer people into doing a custom shower, or at least replacing the tub and tiling around it to give a more custom look. And when people want to save money, they say, well, just keep the tub insert. Well, when you do that and you do the remodel in the bathroom, everything else, the tub ends up
like
looking yellow.
Spinners on a
gross.
Mercedes.
Yeah.
You know those old spinner wheels? Same type of thing.
Back in the day.
Take the inserts out. Tile your shower. Nobody wants to go on vacation, squeeze into a little thing, and shower in this ceramic thing that feels like it's going to fall through, which I've actually seen them fall through.
They've done that.
Okay, change your showers.
Yeah.
That's
Budget,
my best advice.
Budget for your bathrooms.
Yeah, if you only change your showers in your kitchen, you're still going to make more money than you did if you didn't do anything else.
Come on, flooring, paint, kitchen, bathroom.
I always tell people, think structurally. You think from your walls and your ceiling and your floor in. So you make the most of your budget, architectural, structural, whatever that may entail, to get this place up to date and to make it look better and to actually appeal to the masses. And then I take that, everything hard surface wise that we've selected, and we fluff it up and make sure that it gives you the maximum amount of a return. Now,
last question, guys, what keeps you up at night on remodel projects?
Deadlines,
clients,
bad customers, shipping,
HOAs,
clients, HOAs.
I will say lack of funding.
Lack of funding.
So
that is one of the
go into
things.
that.
It's
Tell me about
really
that.
hard. I know that you got, whenever you hire us, right, we ask for a percentage down, and then obviously you have to keep us going because it's not fair for me to have to spend my money on your project, which more often than not, I have to bankroll and I have to wait to the end, which is happening right now as we speak, actually.
Nice.
But funding, right? Find some easy way to get us money. If you're in New York, set up an ACH where you can just send it straight to our account, right? Don't use a credit card that's going to take a week to, it's going to charge you 4%, and then it's going to take a week or two for us to release the funds. Because by then I've already spent my own money on your stuff, and it's time for you to pay again. And I got to wait another week. Yeah. And then you're wondering why your kitchen isn't installed. Because I don't have the money to pay for it because I haven't got the money yet, even though you've sent it. So I would say make sure that you're able to pay your contractor in a easy, functional way for both of you.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, listen, that wraps up time here with Chris and Sam. Of course, if you need to get in contact with them, pick up the phone, give me a call. In the video description is my contact information. Obviously, I will do a group text message with Chris and Sam so you can talk to them, meet them. I'll give you their contact numbers so you can call them, have the conversation. It's simple and easy, the process of working with them, hiring them. Did you guys want to just really quick kind of walk through that process?
Yeah, I do want to say this. There's no hate. We love what we do. Mm-hmm. We love our customers. I know there's a lot of negatives in this, and sometimes you have to appreciate the negatives or to at least acknowledge the negatives to enjoy the positives. So if all this is about is to understand what the positives of this is, then that's what I appreciate if you guys take from this.
Yeah, absolutely. The point is we wanted to show you the raw and the dirty
yeah.
and the ugly and really see, so that you can understand this is why you pay a solid contractor to do the work, because you don't want to be up late at night trying to work through logistics, HOA rules, issues, problems, other remodels, other contractors that have done remodels in your unit, and there's surprise disasters waiting to be figured out how to get fixed. I mean, this is why you pay Chris and Sam, because it is raw, it is dirty, it is ugly, and they're the ones that pick up that problem, they confront it, they break it apart, and they beat it every single time. Yeah. And that's what you want. You don't want to be trying to do that. You're a first-time Oceanfront Condo buyer. You had no clue you had to jump through all these kinds of hoops. We wanted you to see it so that you would understand that the value that they bring is well worth what they charge.
The process of us getting with you guys and actually learning what it is that you want and all of that, it kind of boils down to us seeing the unit, talking to Brandon, seeing what your ETA is on closing this place, seeing what extra red tape y'all got to jump through on your end. So that way we can kind of gauge, hey, this is where we're going to be at. And then Brandon's with us 3/4 of the time when we're meeting with you guys in the units, and we'll walk through, we'll talk to you. Chris will look structurally at things. I start walking around and taking measurements, talking to you, seeing what it is that you want to see, what you want to do, what are you trying to do, what are you trying to get out of this kind of thing, what your lifestyle looks like, what you do for work, all the things, and get every ounce of information that we can. And then we kind of come up with a game plan after that based on budget, what's going to work, what timeline's going to be feasible, what's not going to work, and then figure out the best way to move forward off of that. And we have a standard contract that kind of covers things, but there's going to be stuff that comes up that you're going to need to know about that might not be in the contract. So the best thing I could give advice wise is when things come up after you've purchased a place, unseen, seen, doesn't matter. You need to understand that this is never going to be black and white. This is a very gray area from start to finish. And the only time you're going to see the light side of it is when it's done.
Yep.
So,
and then you're going to be happy. 100%.
Oh yeah. Stress is going to go up sometimes. You're going to figure 100%. Stuff out together. You're going to be upset. You're going to be happy. And then finally, when it's all done, you're like, oh wow, this is beautiful. I love it. It was worth it.
But we're a team.
Yeah. You have to understand that we can't read your mind. So in order to get inside your mind, we have to get to know you on a personal level. So we ask a bunch of questions, and we have to figure out what you are thinking in your mind, what you visually want to see in your unit. So we have to actually get to know you on a personal level. and you'll have to get to know us.
Okay, I got to
so that's
start
the only
somewhere.
way it works.
Yeah.
I can pull stuff out of my tail, but I got to start somewhere. So you got to give me something. But
So,
yeah, I think that, at the end of the day, we tell everybody that we work with, and Brandon knows this too. Like, we're all a team, all three of us, and you, like your unit, whoever's involved, we're all a team. And then our workers, the guys that we work with, they're family. So we work with everybody, and they're part of your team too. So we're all on the same team. It's never he said, she said, or pointing fingers. It's just, let's work together and work through whatever comes up and make this place exactly what you want it. And then we're good to go. Love you, mean it. Bye.
So guys, I get calls, texts, emails every day, all the time from people just like you looking to make a move into the Myrtle Beach market and invest in short-term vacation rental properties, commercial properties, whether it's an office building, a hotel, or an oceanfront condo. Please pick up the phone and give me a call. Stop letting fear stop you. Ask the question. Send the text. I'm telling you, you got to do it. Don't spend 2 years thinking about this and wasting time when you could be making profits and your family using this oceanfront condo. It's 843-360-1737. Pick up the phone, give me a call, and I'll get you in touch with Chris and Sam so that you have a stellar oceanfront condo investment. I get calls and emails every day from investors just like you looking to make their move into the Myrtle Beach market. They want to invest in short-term vacation rental properties. They want to invest in oceanfront condos. They want to know where the best deals are in our market. Well, guys, you're talking to the right person. 843-360-1737. I'm going to help you put your hands on the best deals in our market. If you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, if you're 1 year, 6 months, 3 years out, I don't care where you are in the investing process, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text message, and let one of the many stories on our channel be one of